think there's a dry spot on that. It didn't vapor lock. I think I'm the only one that vapor locked here. Well, how are we doing, everybody? Once again, welcome back. As always, appreciate you being here. So you seen me getting some stuff loaded up here. Call me crazy. It is 87 degrees and I am going this afternoon to saw wood. Yep, I said it. I'm going to saw wood for a couple reasons. We are completely out of rounds in the wood yard. I feel like I'm still behind. And it hasn't rained here in 3 or 4 days now. So you got to go when you can go. So I've got a bunch of logs over at the farm to get out. I'm going to take you guys along for a little bit of that process for bucking up some of it and kind of show you what I got to begin with. My wife's stepdad's been very busy trimming and clearing around the field edges still. And he's got quite the little pile of logs over there. And I desperately need the inventory. One thing I'm going to show you guys real quick I got in the mail is a box, as you can see here, from Saw Suppliers. I ordered a new bar for the 261 and I've already opened it, but I'll just show you how it comes boxed. It's all bubble wrapped in there in the sleeve, and I ordered a Sugihara. See if I can get this to focus. New 20-inch 0.325 063 on the guide, 81 drive length bar. That is what came on the 261, and as you can see right now, I have got the original 261 bar is really getting in bad shape. I have filed it and straightened it out, but as you can see right now, I've got another 20-inch on here. And this is the 20-inch bar that came on my 400 when it was new. I had to change my sprocket to an 8-tooth sprocket and go to a 3/8. But as you can see, when I let go of this saw, it wants to tilt forward. It made it a lot more front heavy, and in my opinion, there it's setting. In my opinion, the thicker 3/8 chain really slowed this saw down. So I have changed my mind on that. I'm going to take this back off and I'm going to go back to 325 on this 261 because it had a lot better chain speed. So I'm going to get this saw all cleaned up, and then we are going to install the new Sugihara 325 bar on here so I can get that little bit thinner of a chain and probably get more chain speed. I'm going to put my original 7-tooth 325 sprocket back on there, and we're going to go test it out. So stick with me. Let me get this cleaned up. We'll get this put on, and then I'm going to go sawing this afternoon and show you what I think could be the difference. Now, I believe this Sugihara bar is just a premium bar over a steel normal bar. It's hard to find a steel light bar anymore, and I wanted to go with the light bar. So I ordered this off of sawsuppliers.com. Since I'm a veteran, they gave me 10% off. You can't beat that, and this bar was sitting on my porch in 2 days from the time I ordered it. So that's pretty good. Let me get the 261 cleaned up and get this bar on here, and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, I am no expert here, but like I said, I bought a cheap set of aftermarket ones for the 261 because I thought my original was worn out when I was going through the chain stretch issues. If you guys caught that video to where my chain was stretching out of adjustment, I would only sharpen it 1 or 2 times and then I would be out of adjustment and the chain would be loose. And I thought my original sprocket was worn out. Now the one on the left, on this side here, is my original 261. I'm going to try to hold this up here so you can see the difference. I don't know how good that's focusing. And as you can see, they do wear down into it somewhat. I know that's going in and out of focus. And this is a new aftermarket one. I'll just show you the difference. Hopefully that's focusing good enough. Now what I'm going to do is put the original back on it, and as you can see, it's stamped steel, 325 7-tooth, and that's what came on it original. So I ordered the Sugihara light bar to go back to what this saw came with from factory. Now you guys tell me, is that sprocket worn down? Let's get behind the camera where I can see. Too much? Man, I'm having trouble focusing. There we go. I don't think so. It's not much, so I'm gonna go back with the original. Pop it back on there, washer back on, and just get this clip back in there. I usually just take a screwdriver and tap it right back in. I know you guys probably can't see here. That's all there is to it. It's on there. Finish getting it cleaned up. We'll get the bar on, show you what it looks like. Well, there you go, everybody. Got the saw cleaned up, the air breather blowed out, all the ports, any holes, the clutch cover blowed out, everything switched over. Chain on, tightened up. So we're gonna see how it does today. I'm gonna let it cool off for a while first. And something else that I wanna point out. As you guys see, I'm holding a small box here. Donald Slate. If you're watching, man, I really appreciate that. Donald's been watching the videos and noticed I got a new tractor. And he went out of his way to contact me, get my address. And Donald sent me a roller straight from Amazon delivered to my door for my tractor. Man, I can't say enough about your good intentions, Donald. Unfortunately, I had to email Donald back and tell him that my son Evan got me one for Father's Day, and it was already on the tractor before he seen the, he ordered this before he seen the up-to-date footage, but it won't go to waste. I told Donald I'd hang on to it for a spare, put it on something else, and Donald even mentioned I could pay it forward. So maybe one of these days we'll pay that forward to somebody else with a tractor, but right now we're going to get this thing out and get it in some wood. I expected the saw to probably vapor lock today. It is so hot and humid. Chainsaws do not like heat, nor do I. But it's got to be done. We're going to go give it a go. Stay tuned. I'll bring you back when we get back to the farm. Well, welcome back, everybody. I have made it over to the farm, and what a surprise. Greg has been going out of his way in the heat done a lot of this prior to the heat coming in, so some of these logs have been laying here for quite a while. As you can see, the vegetation's growing up in between them, so they've already started the drying process. And I have found with a lot of these smaller diameter maple, which is what about 80% of this is, since it's been down since early spring, it will dry a lot faster. So as I said before, I'm going to try out the new bar and chain and probably start right down here on this end and start bucking these up. The truck and dump trailer is up there, and probably bring it down here after a while. The ground looks plenty hard enough, and just cut enough for a load. And probably not going to bring you guys along for all of it. It is so hot out here. I know the camera is not going to like it as much as I'm not going to like it. So we're going to get the job done first and foremost, and I'm going to throw some clips in there of bucking up some of these and show you the new bar in action. Well, I just took the 194 and marked this whole end. Now we're going to get the 261 out, but if you could see by my face, call me crazy, but we're going to get it cut up and get at least a trailer load out of here before the next round of rain moves in. So here we go. Well, I will say already, without a doubt, I know I'm just cutting maple here, but I made the right choice going back to 325 chain. Like I said before, the 261's only a 50cc saw, and I'm running a 20-inch bar. I think if I had a shorter bar, you might be getting away with 3/8, but I'm no expert here. I don't even know if they make a 3/8 for an 18-inch bar. I'm pretty sure it's 20 and above. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but what I'm going to say is this is a lighter weight chain, And I know some of you guys will say, well, it doesn't hold an edge very good, but as long as you keep it out of the dirt, I don't have a problem with having a 325 and then 3/8 on all the rest of my saws, which is just a 400C, because I've already got the 2-in-1 sharpeners for both saws, so that's not a big deal to me. I would rather have the faster chain speed, and like I said, I'm just cutting maple, but I know I've got it. I could just tell right away starting it up that there's just that little extra edge going back to the original sprocket and the original chain. So for those of you guys out there questioning, should you go to 3/8 so you can have the same, in my opinion, the same sharpening systems, in my opinion, it's not a big deal to me. I like the 325 on the 261. Now, if you were going to send this saw off and have it ported, that may be a different story, because you're going to speed it up just by porting it, and they usually do a muffler mod on them. Until I justify getting this ported, I mean, has been on my mind. It will be up on warranty coming up very shortly, and I'm not going to port anything until it's through its warranty, and then if it fails, it's on me. But I do like the idea of having the lighter saw, and if I could get 60 cc's out of this saw by porting it, I would be all for that, just because with my day-to-day job, my shoulders and my elbows and my arms just kill me at the end of the day. So being able to have more cc's to cut, like you can see the size of this maple. I mean, I've cut anything this bar will fit through. This saw has done it. I did notice though, when we went to 3/8, it would bog down a lot faster in a bigger log than it did with the 325. So that's the whole purpose of why I switched back and went ahead and got the new bar and the 325. I do like the idea of getting more pep out of this saw, being able to hold it longer without my fatigue on my shoulders and this and that. So yeah, if I could get 60 cc's out of this saw, or make it feel like a 60 cc saw, I would be all for it. So that porting has been on my mind. I don't really know that I want it to be louder, because I enjoy the low vibration and the quietness of this saw over my 400 with the bark box on it. So I'm gonna get the rest of this bucked up and bring you guys back for some of the loading. But before I pass out and give up on dragging a camera around, I'm gonna get the rest of this cut up. I thought I would give kind of my thoughts on this new setup, going back to the OEM original over the 3/8. So there's my 2 cents. All right, everybody, as you can see, the cottonwood seeds, you just seen one go by the camera. are starting to pick up and blow a little bit more. And there's the final carnage, but looks like we got more rain coming in, so it's time for me to kick it in gear and get this loaded up. Thought I'd show you what I got cut up so far. Not much, but a little bit adds up, right? I'm definitely gonna have a trailer full when I leave. That back log you still see sitting there, I'm gonna finish that one up and that'll be a good load. So I guess in closing, in case it starts raining and you don't see this wood on the trailer, there it is. Next time you see me, we'll be at home splitting that, hopefully, weather cooperating. But I don't think there's a dry spot on that. And the camera is getting hot, but what I will say, the 261 did not overheat. It didn't vapor lock. I think I'm the only one that vapor locked here, so I'm gonna get this loaded up. I'm gonna spare you guys all of that. And if it starts raining and you don't see the end of it in the trailer, until next time, as always, get outside. We'll see you.